Jay-Z attempts a comeback. He schedules this interview with GQ that was a scripted interview. They knew the questions beforehand. He answers the questions on cue. But the purpose of this interview was to convince us that him and Roc Nation aren't as terrible and evil as the world is making it out to seem. I think at some point during this interview, he did say they're going on the offense this year and not the defense, meaning they're going to be proactive in trying to deconstruct the narratives instead of letting the narratives fester and then have to send copyright strikes and go after.
I don't know. I done heard some terrible shit about Roc Nation. Oh, I'm scared of Roc Nation. I don't even know who Roc Nation really is. Like, that's how shit.
They're independent, small creators who are just doing their job by reporting on the treachery of Roc Nation.
And the truth is, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
What does that mean?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
Politicians perfected this skill, but the upper echelon of celebrities have also taken on this skill, which is making a scripted interaction look like it's genuine. If you watch this interview with an untrained eye, you would probably think, oh, this is just a genuine conversation. They're just going with the flow. No, this conversation was scripted from stop to start. Like, for God's sakes, they had a 60-year-old wearing grills and an almost 40-year-old dressed like Miles Morales.
No, not Jay-Z wearing a grill. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? What the fuck? How old is Jay-Z really is? Because he's saying 60, but he probably exaggerating it. Oh my God. Jay-Z is 56 years old wearing a grill in a fucking interview. That is insane. What the fuck?
Whoever was like the producers or the script writers for this.
No, this is definitely scripted. It gotta be. And I'm not gonna lie, he looked younger than 40. I don't know his name. I ain't never seen. He looked like I don't know, but he dressed a little weird.
How can we make this feel authentic? Jay, wear some grills.
Wear some grills.
For the culture. Hey, you 40, dress up like Miles Morales. They even told bro, hey man, put the hat towards the back. Yeah, wear the hat like this.
Oh
man,
my
whoever
God,
dressed, bro, he dressed like how people think black people dress.
Right.
From start to finish.
Right.
It's just a fact, bro. I remember at some point during this interview, like he asked Jay-Z, man, how do it feel to be a universal soldier, a warrior for the culture? And you have people blaming you for being a capitalist. I said, what's the question? Hey, bro, how do it feel to be so great? Like what? Nobody has ever.
What the hell?
Nobody has ever in life said, Jay-Z, you're just too good of a capitalist. Cut it out, man. But this one of those scripted questions that he requested to be asked. He requested they call him a universal soldier. I said, this is just absolute malarkey, but it ultimately backfired. The PR he was looking for, he didn't get it.
Sticking with a written testimony, you have a couple of verses on it that I really like because they kind of speak to what's going on with you in a broader sense in the culture, like on Universal Soldier. I think it is when you said that you don't keep the same energy for the DuPonts and the Carnegies.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes about like people throw capitalists at you in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I think in that verse specifically, the only thing I heard coming up was the American dream. Until we started being successful. And it was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this law for the struggling artist. That's a mind game. What we would call back in the day for tricknology. It was like, no, I'm not going for that. Like, no, I make art first. And then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take advantage. No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in a capitalist structure. That structure exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not ideal. It's not idealistic.
Have you ever heard anybody say, "Oh man, Jay-Z, you monetize your art too well"? How dare you make those albums and sell the way you sell? Man, cut it out, bruh. Nobody in the history of life has ever said that. You've never heard anybody say it. You've never heard anybody say that ever in life. But what people have said when they call Jay-Z a sellout, I can go down the laundry list if you want me to.
I done heard some shit
I wanna
about
ask,
Jay-Z.
hold on, bruh. Did you tell Jermaine Dupri not to work with the NFL when they approached him to do the halftime show? Did you tell him not to work with the NFL because we was boycotting the NFL? Just for you to take the Super Bowl job and start working with the NFL and then tell black folks, we done protesting, we done blackballing the NFL. What's next? After you got hired, after they gave you a check, after they gave you the NFL paid Jay-Z to be a cultural regulator. Jay-Z was that one black person they had on the plantation to watch out for any escape plans. Black folks was protesting. We was done with the NFL.
he said he was the Samuel L. Jackson of Django. That's what he just called him. Those y'all that seen Django, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
They gave Jay-Z a check to tell us to stop boycotting. After he got hired by the NFL.
Hold on, let's do some research real quick. And call him a Steven. Call him Steven. Y'all know Steven was up in the big house, snitching on the other slaves.
To make them look good, Rock Nation called up TMZ to run a bad story on Colin Kaepernick. This is why we call Jay-Z a sellout, for doing things like this.
Oh, hell no.
And she was talking about
Nicki
Minaj's claims about a smear job that Jay-Z had against Colin Kaepernick. But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z. For sure. I've told this story before, I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who's on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? Mm-hmm. I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right?
Oh, wow.
He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way, or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from, what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right?
Right.
And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff and he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z.
The really
Right.
dense Jay-Z defenders and Rock Nation cult members will say, Rock Nation called, not Jay-Z. Right, Jay-Z owns Rock Nation. Right? When Rock Nation calls, they call it on behalf of Jay-Z.
Right.
And it's no coincidence that Jay-Z signs up to the NFL. Colin Kaepernick criticized Jay-Z for working with the NFL and telling black folks to stop boycotting. And then Jay-Z and Rock Nation began to tell people, hey, y'all shouldn't be boycotting. Colin Kaepernick don't really want to work with the NFL. He don't really want a job with the NFL. Huh? That's why people call you
crazy,
a sellout.
bro.
It's not because you're a capitalist, bruh. Right? It's because you're a snake. And you be doing some selling out and bootlicking. This is what you know for.
Ooh, he said
Now, I ain't got nothing
bootlicking.
personal with Jay. But, yo, I don't know. It's maybe because
Yeah, that's some grimy. I ain't gonna lie, that's some grimy stuff to do. Especially like I don't know how many of y'all seen the Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, documentary or whatever. It was a good documentary. I did not know that though. That is crazy, bro.
I mean, media, man, I just value genuine interaction. And when I'm
Me
seeing
too. I
a
value
clear,
genuine
scripted
interaction.
interview being passed
That's
off as like a
crazy.
genuine, man, it's like, all right, bro. Like, come on, man. Even like the following stuff, like when he's asked about Drake and Kendrick and this battle and this beef, what he says is probably just as absurd as his capitalist statement.
I have no idea. Okay,
Couldn't tell you off top.
that no longer exists.
Not gonna lie, these grills is frying me. Why does he have grills in at 56 years old at an interview, guys? Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not knocking him, but like this is the first time I've seen it. Like, that's not AI. That's not AI. Like,
And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it. They almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now, people that like Kendrick hate Drake,
Yeah.
no matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like an attack on his character and his
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
man,
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing people kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger.
I'm
But
60.
I think we can
You old.
achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing, and you had the battle, it was fun, and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
That's one thing about social media. Like they will hate you forever for whatever you did. They are never gonna forget.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
They're
to
still
tear-
talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if
I agree with that.
I don't know if it's
They're
worth
trying to
it
take
at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back,
Yeah.
and we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
The thing about Jay-Z is really great at making his own personal issues look like a cultural issues. And then he utilized the culture to solve issues in his personal life, even if it doesn't benefit the culture. Like, for example, Tidal. Jay-Z wanted to line up his pockets. Jay-Z needed investors to come in. Jay-Z needed to build something and to work up this business that was, for the most part, destitute. Like, Tidal was a company that really was not competitive with other streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. So you know what Jay-Z did? He made his problem, which is this Tidal thing that is not really performing or going up, he made it a cultural issue. Hey, man, this thing Tidal is for black people. We're going to bring in our black creators, and we're going to pay them more than anybody else. We're going to give them equity because this is for us and by us. And then black folks rally around Jay-Z, the culture rallied around Jay-Z, artists like Rihanna and Nicki Minaj signed up to exclusive deals with Tidal because they were getting equity. Man, Jay-Z ran up Tidal, man, sold it for like $300 million and ain't give them a goddamn thing.
Damn.
Same thing here. Jay-Z is upset because Drake stands. OVO stands have been really vocal and really loud in their critique against Jay-Z because they feel like Jay-Z took the side of Kendrick Lamar. They feel like Jay-Z has been doing some underhanded things. Now, they wouldn't be wrong when they say that Jay-Z picked the side because, like, Jay-Z liked Kendrick Lamar more. For whatever reason, he likes Kendrick Lamar more. Jay-Z obviously picked the side in this battle because, his friend, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, he said publicly that when he wrote a positive article about Drake, Jay-Z contacted him to let him know why that article is incorrect and shouldn't exist and how not Drake and this and that. So Jay-Z obviously picked a side. You think if somebody writes a positive article about Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z is contacting them to dispute the positive article? No. So Jay-Z will make it seem as if, he's neutral. Oh my God, this is sad. No, the only sad part about it is that a large percentage of hip-hop fans who just happen to be Drake fans have turned against Jay-Z, have turned against Rock Nation. And they're very public and very vocal about it, very loud about it.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z would even admit to such a little later in his interview.
Interesting.
I hate that I had this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it. It's just how I feel about it.
Well, it even kind of extended to you, right? Because people made it a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing a side and he's putting, and he's not.
Like I don't have. What do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle.
Yeah.
Well, I care about them two guys battling. Like, what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like, not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in it. Like, everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But, like, what the like, what? Jay-Z. or do respect him. Oh, dude, respectfully.
Word.
Like, for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened at Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth Leak, what is the Myth Leak slugs in your hat?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I done heard a lot about TMZ. I just, not TMZ, Rock Nation. And I just found out some more stuff about Jay-Z that I did not know. I didn't know he basically sabotaged Colin Kaepernick, his career. That's crazy. That's insane. Comment down below how y'all feel about this, man. And you haven't did so, make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss no more of my videos. Thank you. See you next time.
My God. APROBLIVE, what are you doing?